Hey gang, East Coast Lumberjack here, Rod Cumberland in Keswick Ridge, New Brunswick. And I'm going to replace the handle in my axe. The last video I showed you taking out a nice hickory handle. It was a little bit tough getting out, but it's a nice shape and feel. It's a perfect size for me. I'm just going to whittle down this just a little bit more, but the knob is really nice. So I would like that in my favorite axe, this baby here. So it's still got a lot of life in it. It's a great chopping axe. This handle here is a little bit narrow at the end here, I find, and it feels too narrow. It doesn't feel right in my hand. So we're going to take it out. So again, it's pinned and it's wedged. So I'll set you up just a little bit so you can see my vise. I'm going to set it in here. Take my rubber grommets off, take my hammer. So first thing we do, we poke that spring pin out. So I've got my little drift. Poke that a few times so it comes out the other side of the axe head, as you can see here. Take my pliers and wiggle it. Well, might need a little bit more convincing. So this is one that I put in. Remember, I make my holes a little bit smaller for my spring pins, so they actually sit in there a little bit nicer. So I need a nail. I'm just looking for a nail or a screw or something. That screw will work, just a wooden screw, because it's got to push the whole way through now. So it's already started. I know it's going to come out easy. So it just takes a couple of taps, like that. So your screw goes in one side, spring pin comes out the other. There we go. Of course, it's nice and loose. It just comes right out, and we'll use it for next time. So the spring pin's removed. Now what we're going to do, like we did before, we're going to tap that handle on just a little bit more. So 2 or 3 taps. So what happens here? The top jumps up a little bit. So now we can get out our wedge. So we're going to come in the back side of our axe here and see if that wedge, if we can't pry it up, convince it to come out a little bit. It's not coming much with that, so I'm going to try this one. Still not much. So I'm going to try tapping it in and prying it. There we go, and see, pry a little bit, and there's the back part of it up. Bingo! So now that gives us a little bit of room. Okay, so once we have a little bit of room in there, we're going to take our trusty screwdriver and put it down that slot and give it a little pry. So we're going to pry over onto that wedge. Bingo! Out it comes. So this is kind of nice. We can keep it going. There's number 3. Now we might be able to, sometimes what you can do is tap that wedge. See it here? Right there. So now you gotta be careful because this is a razor sharp edge, so we're gonna go to the front of it and tap it this way. Sometimes what you can do is you can move it back a little bit and then pry it. There, bingo. And you hear that little snap? That means it gave way. So now you can come in from the back and give it a pry. She's being a little bit stubborn. The big one might work. We'll try it. Yep. Wedge is out. That's the beauty of using wooden wedges. Not driving a whole pile of nails or a whole pile of bolts or a washer, whatever you can find. Because now what we can do is just drive that back. One good poke is usually what I do. Drive it down a little bit, and then we can set our axe drift right on the top. Poke, 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 and we're out. So, same thing with this one, because we've done it right. What I will do with this one Just wiggling it back and forth because I know it's loose. There it is. See, nice and smooth here, transition, no curl. So that's still in really great shape. There's a little bit of wedge left to the front. So like I told you before, we're just going to pry that out towards the top. There it is. So it's out the whole way along now. You can see right through it. Now, I'm just going to clean that up back here, and I'm going to put that in another axe. Perfectly good handle. Okay, it's a little bit wide this way for what I like. It's a little bit wide down here, so it's, there's my calipers. Can't see them. Anyhow, I can just use my measuring tape. So it's almost 1 3/4 inches. So 1 3/4 inches, 1.5 inches is plenty. 1 3/4 inches gets a little bit wide in your hands. So I'll take that down, fix that up. But now, because the other one come out so slick, all we need to do to hang this one is start it in here. And it's not going to go. So what I might have to do is do a little convincing. So I'm going to put my rubber jaws in place, like so. I'm going to put the axe head in here and tighten it up just a bit to hold it. And then I'm going to start my handle in this way. Okay, and we're just going to tap it like that. We got it started. So I'm going to take it out. Have I told you how much I like that Castella vise? It's a smooth working vise. So now it's started in there. So I'm just going to tap it along like I normally would. Okay, and it pulls it on really easily. Just tap it nice and light. Okay, there. Almost too far. There. I don't like it. Okay, so there it is. It's a little bit proud, which is nice. And we know that we had a nice wide wedge in that last time, so I'm going to go and look for, this is a wider wedge. Okay, see that? Nice and wide. So I'm going to do this one because I know that it goes down there quite a ways. So I'm going to start it here. One little crooked. One little crooked on me, so I'm going to start it again. Okay, and I'm just going to hold it and drive it along. Okay. So, there it is. Now, I am going to leave that in like that because if the handle dries out anymore or it gets loose at all, I'm just going to tap it a little bit more. But I will use my drill and put that spring pin in there so nothing comes loose. Now, remember I had the other size drill bit in there. So I want it out because it was a 1/4 inch bit and I used it to get that other wedge out. So now I've got my little one in. I'm just going to drill. Remember, partway through from one side. Don't go the whole way through. Take it through the rest of the way from the other side. And even now, they didn't quite line up. But we have enough that we can get the whole way through. There we go. And the spring pin that flopped out right here. Just have to find it. Find it on my bench. And I can't. So I'm going to get a new one. I've got all kinds of spring pins. So I get a new spring pin out of my little tray. Start it in. no, that one didn't. It hit on the other side and fetched up. Not good. So I'm gonna drive that out and put it in from the other side. Is what I will do with this one. It's not lining up perfect, so that's the only thing about making that hole a little bit small. If it doesn't line up, it's going to get stuck when and it has. Again, not the end of the world, so I just got to play around a little bit to get that pin in. Okay. So I will use a different little rig. This one here I think will fetch up to. Okay, it's fetching up in the hole, so it's not pushing it quite far enough. So I need something else. Not that one. Got a few other old screwdrivers here. I use just for this purpose, and I can't find them right now. Anyhow, so what I got to do is just, actually, what I can do is take my spring pin, start it from the other side, and pound it through this way. So see what I'm doing? I'm going to pop that other one out and put this one in. There goes the first one. There. And that one lined up good from this side here. Okay, so there it is on that side. Here it is on this side. It's a little bit proud on this side, so I'll just tap it. There. Beauty. So there we go. Spring pins in, wedges in, handles ready to go. All in one night. We're ready for Saturday. At least I am. Got 2 more handles to hang. But anyways, East Coast Lumberjack signing off. That's I think it's part 3. Again, how to remove an axe head with a wedge. And that's why you use wooden wedges, because it makes your life a whole lot easier at this stage.